these are the best routines for every single time limit in Fortnite, and if you stay consistent with one of these routines, you will eventually go pro. The best Fortnite routine follows 4 crucial elements, and I'll cover all of them in this video to help you improve as fast as possible. There's also timestamps in the description. The first thing we need to talk about is ranked, and specifically how almost everyone is playing it wrong. Ranked is not a waste of time, but the way most people play it is. If you're going into ranked, avoiding fights, or most importantly not playing ranked with a specific goal in mind, that's a waste of time. You're not getting better, you're just grinding a number on a screen that doesn't mean anything to anyone who actually plays this game competitively. The only way to use ranked properly is to W key everyone you see and to try and take 0 damage in your fights. This trying to take 0 damage trick is how pros play ranked. But when I say try to take 0 damage, that doesn't mean play passive. I mean make smart, protected right hand peeks, don't take 50-50s you don't have to, and play your fights keeping in mind that you need to take 0 damage in every fight. But you still need to be looking to get into every fight possible, and make sure you're landing at the best POI every single game. The best drop changes every season, but the rule is the same: land somewhere contested with good loot and play against the best players in your lobby. You'll improve so much faster just from the reps than if you're landing somewhere uncontested and spending the first 5 minutes just looting. Now, for lots of people, you don't want to spend a lot of time in ranked because you'll never get into as many quality fights as creative, but 30 to 60 minutes of playing ranked like this can still be good. But before you even play any ranked, you want to do some creative fighting practice. Now, there's a specific way to do this depending on what skill level you are. If your mechanics still aren't there, your edits are inconsistent, you're losing fights because you're making bad peaks, or you're just fairly new to the competitive side of the game, then do 1v1 build fights. Build fights are more mechanical because there's no cap limit on your mats, so they force you to be more mechanical and work on your consistency under pressure. If your mechanics are already good and you want to specifically improve for competitive, switch to 1v1 speed realistics. These replicate pressure from real fights more accurately than build fights do, and they'll likely expose weaknesses in your fighting IQ that build fights just won't do. But there is one non-negotiable rule for both. You need to be going against good players. Ideally someone better than you, not your friends who are the same skill level, and definitely not players you can clearly win every round against. When you play against someone better than you, every fight you lose is a free lesson. You can see exactly what they did differently and you can start implementing that. But more importantly, you'll get punished for all your mistakes, so you won't make that same mistake again in tournaments. And that's how Peterbot and Venno got so good at fighting. Constant reps against players who were better than them or at their level. You can find good players in scrim servers mainly, but maybe also in Discord improvement servers, or just by asking people on Twitter or something like that. The point is that the quality of who you're practicing against matters just as much, if not more, than the time you put in. Now let's get into mechanics training. This is one of the most important parts of your routine, and it's also the part that most people rush through or just do wrong. But don't forget that I'm going to give you a completely free document that has the best routines for every single time limit towards the end of the video. So make sure to watch the full video, but before I give it to you, you need to understand what makes a good routine first. So mechanics training covers everything that isn't fighting or endgame practice. Piece control, aim, building, editing. And the key is actually having a structured approach instead of just hopping into a creative map and doing random stuff for 20 minutes. So here's what an optimal mechanics training routine looks like. Start with speed free building. Load into Raiders Mechanics Training V5 map, then go to the build section. Step 1, go to the slow speed, either 0.6 times or 0.8 times, and free build on this for 5 minutes. The whole focus here is crosshair placement. You want your crosshair to move as little as possible when you're editing. Good crosshair placement is what separates players who can edit fast from players who luck fast but keep messing up edits. Use the slow speed to also practice the moves and edits you specifically struggle with, because being slower gives you the timing to to actually learn them. If you don't have any moves to learn, just focus on having good crosshair placement and warming up your hands. Step 2, go to the fast speed, 1.2 times or 120%. Free build on this for 5 minutes and the goal is simple. Do as many edits and moves as possible without messing up. You will mess up a lot at first, that's the point, but over time you'll mess up less and less, and when you go back to normal speed it will feel effortless. Step 3, normal speed for 5 minutes. Just get used to normal speed again, and after free building, go to the piece control tunnel section and do all 12 scenarios for 1 minute each. Make sure you're building in all the empty space and making protected right hand peaks on the bot. Then go to the peak training section and do that for 8 minutes, making sure every peak you take is protected. Then finish with aim training. If you have Kovaaks, I'll include the share codes in the description. If you don't have Kovaaks, do the in-game scenarios. Headshot practice, shotgun reacts, 1x1 aim duel, glider tracking, and surge tags. Just remember, aim training should never be longer than an hour total per day, but most of the time it should be around 30 minutes. But that was just an example routine. If you're serious about improving tournament placements, you want to use a routine that focuses on your weaknesses. So if you already have good mechanics but bad aim, you want to spend a lot more time on your aim. If you don't know how to make routines that focus on your weaknesses, you can get Snapping to do it all for you, and it also finds the exact weaknesses costing you bad tournament placements, and if you want to get Snapping, it's linked in the description. But if you're seriously trying to go pro or get consistent tournament earnings, endgame practice is a non-negotiable. You can have the best mechanics in the lobby, but if you don't know how to play the endgame, when to rotate, where to position, how to read zones, how to get surge, you'll keep dying and getting bad tournament placements. And there are 2 ways to get good endgame practice in. The second is by far the best, but some people need to know the first option, like if they only have a very short time limit. And this is endgame zone wars maps like Cup endgame. If you can only play for around an hour each day, then this is your only realistic option. You'll get more repetitions in a shorter time, and it's a decent starting point for getting comfortable in late games. But when you're playing Cup endgame, don't just autopilot. Look around constantly, pay attention to where other teams are, work on your awareness, and constantly look around for refresh opportunities. The second and significantly better option, if you have the time, is scrims, and specifically no zone rule scrims. No zone rule scrims are the closest thing to a real tournament that exists outside of an actual tournament, and the players in these scrims are also serious about improving and most likely taking the scrims seriously. The rule for scrims is the same as ranked. Don't camp. Be active, look for damage, apply pressure, look for where people rotate around your spot. If you're sitting in the box waiting for endgame to start, you're wasting the scrim. The point is to practice making decisions that actually matter under tournament conditions. If you're in a scrim server that does have zone rules, use the mid-game time as wisely as possible. Scout the map, figure out where teams position close to your drop spot, and in the off spawn, loot as fast as possible. So in tournaments, you already know the fastest loot path to get the best loot as fast as possible. For EU players, Noble Opens is the best scrim server for starting out, and for NA, I'm pretty sure it's Manu Scrims. If you can't find one for your region, search on Discord. Most regions have something. And if your region genuinely doesn't have scrims, replace that time with more creative fighting practice, or if you need to, Cup endgame. One last thing on scrims, if you die early, don't just wait for the next game doing nothing. Pull up your replay and immediately VOD review how you died. That dead time can be turned into one of the most productive things you can do. Now, this is the part of the routine most players skip entirely, and it's the reason most people stop improving after a certain point. You need to be reviewing your games. The best way to do this is to track how you die each game. Every time you die, categorize it. Categorize what killed you. Was it bad aim, a run edit, a bad peak, a rotation you took too late, poor awareness, a situation where you had the advantage but didn't convert it? Write it down, and over time you'll start to see a pattern, and that pattern will show you the biggest weaknesses that you need to work on. Now, if you still don't know how to do do this or just don't want to do it, you can use snapping to find your weaknesses for you and then keep track of all of them. It watches your clip, tells you exactly why you died, and keeps track of all your weaknesses in the weakness tracker. There's a ton of other features like it building personalized routines based on your weaknesses and your time limit, so if you want to check it out, the link is in the description. The second type of reviewing is watching pros. Watch a pro who did really well in a specific tournament and try to look at how they play. Then try and replicate it in your own games. When you actually understand the why behind what pros do, you start naturally making those same decisions in your own games. And by the way, snapping can also help you learn pro strategies. I just don't want to spend 10 minutes talking about everything snapping does. Now, to go with this video, I made a completely free document that has the best routines for every single time limit. It has multiple routines telling you exactly what maps to use, how to use them, and a full daily routine for every single time limit from 1 to 8 hours. So all you need to do is go to the link in the description to get this PDF and pick the routine that fits your specific time limit. To get this routine for completely free, then click the link in the description or the pinned comment. But if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like and subscribe and get that free document by clicking the link in the description.